Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
What is up, heels and baby faces? We are here live on the Countdown City WrestleCast. For once, I'm your host, Tommy. Haha, now I have all the power. With me, as always, is Big Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike here, 2023, barreling down the tracks. Oh, I messed that up, but
It's all right.
There's the rhyme. In a totally non-wrestling related event, someone give a big flying V-trigger knee to the head of all the movie studios and streaming services going on.
Yeah, right now.
Boom.
Our Twitter, of course, is CCG_WrestleCast. You can also find us on Instagram at Countdown City WrestleCast. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. He is former security for Branded Outlaw Wrestling, and now he is the head announcer. I say head because I take it over for him on the brief occasion he can't make it, which is rare. And he's also one of the key voices in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please get up for Hollywood Terry! Representing
Gentlemen. Thank you very much. Bang, bang. Thank you, Tommy. And
also the announcer at Hybrid.
Yeah, the announcer at Hybrid. Yeah, he's all over.
The hybrid experience, PPW. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll make it.
Remember the Dudley clan, I've heard, but
I mean, yes, I am a Dudley, according to Bubba Ray, and
Papa Dudley got around. So,
KNS WrestleFest. They did a autograph signing, and I sent in some stuff and a picture with Bubba and I, and the guy that runs it, Ken, asked Bubba if I would fit in the Dudleys, and he. According to the picture, he said absolutely. So
that's awesome.
According to Bubba, I'm a Dudley.
I didn't even know that was the story behind that. That's so great.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, the backstory to all of it. Hey, Doc. The backstory to all of it was a buddy of mine at work, who is a huge wrestle fan as all. Mm-hmm. For Halloween this past year, he said, "Let's go as the Dudleys."
I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay. And he was Devon. I was Bubba. We walked through the whole campus at work, 3 buildings. And I had the music playing on my phone. We were carrying a table. We were in full costume, glasses and all. And when we finally got to the cafeteria, somebody knew what the hell we were doing. Yes. And they wanted us to put them through the table.
I just gotta ask.
And we said we'd love to, but we don't want to go to HR.
That's true. Fair enough. Yeah.
But we did take some pictures, and we had a good time with it, and we actually won the costume contest with that.
Nice.
That's so awesome. And for all those wondering where JC is, well, had to do a little takeover hit. No, I'm kidding. He's on vacation with his family. I couldn't even do that joke in the straight face. He's on vacation, and he'll be back next week.
Actually, not a complete vacation. His daughter is in the Pony League Softball World Series down in Laredo. Last I saw, they had won some of the early bracket games, I think.
Oh, nice.
So shout out to JC and Tina. And, of course, my goddaughter, Adi, who is playing the softball, bring home a title.
That is so cool.
Keep it strong. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. So, guys, what we got on the show tonight, for sure, we're going to talk about Impact Slammiversary. Can you guys believe it? Impact Slammiversary already. But before we get
Didn't we just have it?
I mean, it feels like it. It feels like it was just like it's been a year already, another year of Impact. Again, the company that wasn't supposed to make it past 2005. This is.
Well, I mean, after all, 1990 was only 10 years ago. So
don't get me started on that. I got a nephew who was born in '96, getting married in the fall this year. I'm so sad. I am so sad right now. Yeah, sorry, Terry threw me off with that. But before we go into all that, is there any wrestling news? I think the only thing that I saw that came out was AEW had some changes with their status and God, Doc, not now. She's a nutcase. AEW
relationships through wrestling, man. I support that.
Yeah. Well, but going back to the topic before Doc completely threw me off. AEW they came out with some memos like certain spots that they're not going to allow, they're going to like not forbid, but kind of like
no. There apparently some things are like forbidden, and some things have to get approved now.
Yeah.
So
I think like I think one thing was seizure spots, which not the worst idea in the world to stop those from happening.
there's a meme out there already where it's like, AEW says, banning the seizure spot, and it's Daniel Bryan. Who could that be about?
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
it is his go-to. So the funny part was a lot of those that they put on the list. I was like, that's not a huge loss. So that's not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
So.
But it's
so who did the seizure spot better, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson? I am so sorry.
Right.
Or Tommy Dreamer?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I kind of want to say Tommy Dreamer because he usually had more blood attached.
And also Devon had the leg going.
You know what? I take it back. Devon had the best out of all of them because he sold it like this is gonna sound so bad. He sold it like a dude catching the Holy Ghost in church. I can't lie. That's whatever I see him doing. That's what I thought about. I said, "Oh, that man ain't seasoned. That man caught the Holy Ghost." That's me.
I think the only thing that adds with Bryan Danielson is he has the well documented neck injury, the concussions and all that. So instead of like, let's be careful with that, the minute he came back, played into
like
all
the
of
first
that,
thing he did,
like every match he did. So yeah, but no, those are some good ones with the seizure spot.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not that big a loss. I mean, like the wrestlers AEW are good enough to do them without them, but I get why they just want to be careful, from now on, especially.
Another one was chair shots to the back of the head.
Yeah,
and they showed that literally this past Wednesday, and when he attacked Omega previously, Pac has attacked Kenny with a chair to the back of the head both times.
Well, Pac's probably like,
because he's so short, he can't. I mean.
He's like, yeah.
And truth be told, Kenny's only like maybe 2 inches taller than him. That's about it. So that's. Well, speaking of that is some other news. The fifth members of both sides for the Blood and Guts match have been announced. Pac for the Blackpool Combat Club and Kota Ibushi reforming the Golden Elite. So
2 things. Pac is a permanent member of BCC. I am with 100%. I don't know if he's just coming in for the match, but he fits in perfectly with them.
He absolutely does, for sure.
And then on the flip side, you finally get Kota Ibushi in AEW. Something people have been wanted since they created AEW. So,
I know one reason he didn't go to AEW right away was because New Japan pretty much promised to strap a rocket to his back, which they kind of did with the world title and everything. So, in Kota's defense, I get why he stayed.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think it's things the fans wanted. So.
Yeah. But and one little bit of wrestling news that did kind of go under the radar, not a lot, but just a little bit, was Nick Wayne's debut on AEW, which I thought was really good. And I thought Swerve's the perfect bad guy for that.
Swerve took care of him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Swerve looked out for it, and of course Swerve being the ultimate heel that he is right now, and I'm loving that gimmick. He was still vicious enough to get him over as the sympathetic babyface.
That arm snap spot at the end. That looked vicious.
Look, this is the anatomy part of me. It's like, yes, it's wrestling, I get it, but good God, they can make some stuff look real sometimes.
Yeah. That's for the young, flexible guys.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, for sure, 1,000%. Yeah. My show legitimately come out of place.
Yeah, another bit of news, and this was sent to me by a buddy of mine. SmackDown is coming to San Antonio
It is true. We saw that.
Friday, October 20th, I want to
Yeah.
say.
I
Yes.
think so. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
October 20th. Yeah.
So and finally, this is
I
SmackDown I'm interested in.
I can't remember the last time SmackDown was here.
It was right after the pandemic. I remember that because a friend of mine had a boyfriend who had tickets, offered them to me, and this was right in the middle of still Vince in charge period, and I didn't want to go.
Whoa, but you once again had a chance.
Damn it! I can't believe I said that out loud on this show. Damn it!
Yeah, it's free tickets to a wrestling show, huh, Tommy? Yeah.
I can't believe I
Tommy, look up, bang!
Damn it! Damn it! I can't believe I admitted that I get on this show. Freaking yeah, I cannot get away.
But that's okay. I mean, you didn't go to the Royal Rumble this year, so whoa, Ted, we're not.
He's like, "Up, show's over."
Thanks for playing.
It's after they killed the black guy. The movie was over. Anyway.
Wow. Oh, by the way, I just like to point out who is currently on the SmackDown roster.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, Mike will be at the SmackDown in October, if for no other reason. In fact, it's the only reason he'll be going to that show. Yes. See, I knew I was right. So that's all for wrestling news. I'm pretty sure.
I think the big stuff. I mean, WWE's heading up for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
AEW's got their big blood and guts next week. Oh, there is one other thing. That's the ROH. Mark Briscoe does have a legitimate injury. He was supposed to face Claudio for the title at Death Before Dishonor, which I think is in 2 Fridays, like not this Friday, but the following Friday.
Yeah.
The 21st. So Tony Khan said since Claudio is getting ready for Blood and Guts, they'll basically make the announcement that Wednesday after the show or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have a lot of time, but maybe you bring in someone interesting for the ROH championship match. That could be fun.
Oh man, I want it to be Suzuki. That's just my fantasy booking.
Shane, did you see Shane's post about ROH being in Cleveland? Or no, I'm sorry, Collision. Collision is going to be in Cleveland.
That's right.
Shane Taylor is going to be on it.
That's good because hometown boy.
Also in ROH, speaking of him, he's in a mini tournament. He beat Sean Dean in the first round. I think he's facing Dalton Castle.
Yeah.
With the winner facing Joe for the TV title, ROH TV title. So a potential Joe Shane Taylor match. Yes, please.
Yeah, and also
big 80 men slapping meat.
Yeah, and there was a clip of Dalton Castle cutting a promo during his entrance about he's like screaming, if you want TV ratings, you have Dalton Castle on your TV. And I was like, yeah, he's actually got a point. So I can't even front because he's hilarious. So
he's great.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up.
That's the wrestling news for
the wrestling news. As far as local events coming up, July 22nd, we got Hybrid Experience. August 12th, Mission Pro. September 9th is Branded Outlaw Wrestling. River City Wrestling announced their last 3 dates for the year of September 16th, October 22nd, and November the 12th. So that's all that's coming up for upcoming local wrestling events. Now, moving on from that, quick recap of this past weekend. I guess we'll start with a couple things happened that were interesting. I can name one. It was that this past Friday. The Superhero ComicCon car show, and some dude moderated the panel with MJF and Jay Cargill. Can't remember.
An ugly dude from what I heard, but
yeah, he wasn't that attractive.
It was the only attractive one that they could get.
Well, the closest they could get, and that's saying a lot.
I was trying to yell from the front row. I was the other option, so yes, that was the best.
I think the crowd was laughing so hard at that point, and I was just like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah. No, you did awesome with that, man.
Yeah, no, for those of you who don't get the joke, I moderated the panel for MJF and Jay Cargill. Honestly, a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun doing that. The insult right away, believe it or not, actually kind of lightened the tension for me. Because I immediately just thought, okay, and we're doing this right away. That's cool. So I didn't have to wait for when the insult was coming. It's like, oh, that's how we're starting. Cool, that works.
Yep, it's a shoot. Let's go.
Yeah, and then it just and my favorite part was Doc, actually, I tried to be as professional as possible and actually didn't wear a bandana, which is why I got called ugly. Anyway,
he wore his dress bandana, so it was all pressed.
I should get a dress bandana just so I can make y'all look at it one day. Wow, Jason, really? It was a panel. I wasn't wrestling the guy. I do better against him than Jay Cargill, but I'm just saying I wasn't wrestling the guy. So, by the way, Jade is even more buff in person than on TV.
I could imagine.
Her arms are ridiculous, dude. Like for real. It's like I'm like, when is she not bench pressing? I hate Doc. Like for real. Anyway,
and the fact that she's taller than you without heels.
And that was okay with me. That I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Here we go, Ted.
Here we go. Ted getting us with a shot. Yeah, that
video
is,
or a picture? It's just a picture. Okay.
I think it's just a picture. Yeah. That's me on the far left, and MJF with the unmistakable scarf, and somebody who said it, like Jay Cargill with her very sparkly dress on, in the middle. Seriously though, it was a ton of fun. I really did enjoy it once the nerves settled down. She's a Florida girl, so I heart her. Yeah, she propped up Florida real fast. Yeah, at San Antonio's expense, but that was all right. But that was funny. So, yeah, Mike, you were there. How'd I do?
No, you did great. Like you said, once the insult came right off the bat, and you went along with it, you could just tell you got real comfortable. And okay, I have to say this because I've always respected MJF's talent, but I always felt like everyone was crowning him way too early, and everyone was like, everything he does is perfect. But I cannot lie. Seeing him in person and seeing how easily he navigates being MJF, both saying things that are honest, but being in character and melding that, like, I kind of fell in love with the dude. Like, he just like
probably one of the quick-wittest people ever.
Like we were saying, for one thing, we can't remember ever hearing him being this open and kind of honest at a con or a speech or anything, but he played it so well immediately by blaming it on his storyline with Adam Cole. Like right off the bat, he was like, "Oh, my buddy Adam Cole told me to be nice to you guys. We're just playing. We're just having fun." And like, it was just a total like, whoa.
I mean, okay, Jason, that's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he did come back and like pass out at the booth after the thing, so that might have been why. But
no, you're not wrong. You're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
No, but like serious about MJF like that, and then when you hear Jay talk about how he helped her backstage, and he makes that comment like, "I don't like to talk about this a lot, and none of you probably will believe me, but in 20 years, when you hear the amount of people that said MJF helped me out with stuff backstage, like it's like I finally got it, or like I got it, like what he's about, and like, damn, he's really, really good.
He wants no credit for the stuff backstage.
Yeah, and
he's just one of the boys and helping out.
And he's got such a wrestling mind, you can tell, like the way he does his character the whole time, and clearly the way he's helping people out.
He only wrestles 10 times a year, so he's gonna wrestle till he's 50.
Yeah.
He literally got the Roman Reigns treatment, like without the 8 years of being a bad baby face.
Yeah, at like 27, he got it already. So I mean, I honestly think when both him and Orange Cassidy turn 50, they should wrestle each other, because they're going to have like because he never wrestles. Orange doesn't do anything. Between those two gimmicks, when they're 50 years old, they're still going to have like a 5-star.
I was going to say, because by the time they're 50, their bodies are still going to be able to deal with high impact stuff, because they haven't done it for as hard as some other people. But no, that was great. And then it was funny because even Jade started trying to be a little heelish, crapping on San Antonio. But once we got into it, her too, like she opened up a little bit more. I know you said like in your research, and she talked about it like she has degrees. She's done all this other stuff, like super impressive. And I hope when she comes back, they give her stories and booking that's a little bit better. Because while the TBS championship reign and the length of the reign was impressive, story-wise, sometimes it wasn't, because it was like, on Rampage, she's facing this person you haven't seen on TV for 3 months. It's Diamante or whatever, which is cool, and I know she's supposed to squash them, and, you know, she, like she was saying, like, she's barely been in a year or two, like, she was learning
She is still so green in ring work.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember who it was asked me if I thought that Jade would go to WWE. And immediately I was like, I don't know, because she's already known. To take her and put her in WWE and actually have to train her how to work would be backtracking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in AEW, she's learning on the fly and she's picking it up.
Yeah.
So might as well stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that kind of freak athleticism, she really has picked up so much stuff there, and but she also talked about like wanting to be and she's taken some time off and getting into other things, and so it's kind of interesting for her.
Yeah. Well, I do remember one thing I saw on her social media, like it was like literally a couple days before the con, was like someone telling her that she was only faced because of AEW. And I remember thinking like, but no, she had her like fitness and modeling career before that. And so it's like, just because, and I've said this before, but I kind of had the same thing with Bad Bunny when he started wrestling. Just because a certain group doesn't know her doesn't mean she's not famous in another group. Like with Bad Bunny, he's not necessarily I mean he is now, because hell, that Backlash match alone made me a fan. Never mind all stuff before, but it's like, you can be popular in a certain crowd and then just not be known to a certain group. And I find it hilarious that a wrestling fan suddenly have elitism. I was like, yo, calm down. We just made it to the mainstream a couple of decades ago. Let's all take a breath. All right, let's take this easy.
It's like, it was like Logan Paul too. There were some fans who were like, oh, the YouTube guy, but like other people, he's like, oh, Logan Paul, every video he makes, So you're right. Like, but I think that's the whole point, right? It brings in other genres of fans that weren't early, and that's what you're trying to get, is as many fans as possible.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, the two of them on the panel, it really was a great experience. I wouldn't mind doing it again now that I've done it one time. And they were just, they were like how I expected it to be. It was a lot of real answers, a lot of healing it up, which I expected going in, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was.
And it's on YouTube. There you go. I was just gonna say.
Yeah. I sent it to my family like almost as soon as Steady let us know that it was up, because I had family just like saying, well, is it up yet? Is it up yet? Is it up yet? So I had to say like, yes, here it is. Watch it, please. So
I would like to thank not JC for showing us.
I saw that earlier, not JC.
But on our Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel, it's up there along with,
I was going to say, two
other interviews from wrestlers we got to meet this weekend. From the Grunt Style booth that was there at the con. Tommy got to interview. We both got to meet both of them, but Tommy got to interview Josh Woods. I got to interview Impact Outlandish Zicky Dice. I had to restart that. What's up,
Legacy Nerd? What's up? Yeah.
And you also interviewed, I saw the one from Marcus Bagwell. As he's
not Jeff Bagwell. That's the So those were from the week before, 2 weeks before, at the Wonderland Mall, the Rock and Wrestling. Yeah, so that was Buff Bagwell, Alexander Bagwell, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Right.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, we've been kind of busy lately.
Yeah, we've been getting some wrestling people out there.
Yeah. So
this is the voice of God. I would love for Tommy to share what happened directly after the panel, because that's not in the video. So if you could just share what happened after. And there's one thing in particular that I felt just totally earns the respect of MJF, like, for everybody. But if you could share what happened after the panel.
So, if you're so, first of all, God, you sound a lot like Ted. I didn't expect that whenever I read the Bible. Well, for one, for a little insider, guys, the panel had to end exactly on time for the travel reasons. So after the panel, MJF first kind of randomly threw signed toys of him into the crowd. I nor can I not confirm they hit people at random. Because I don't think they were expecting them that fast. At least Jade warned everybody. But I will say, right after the panel, as he was leaving, I did get the quick picture. I don't have him yet. Our hardest working man, Brian, who was just everywhere all weekend.
Yeah.
God bless him. That dude was working
Shout out
in
to Brian
overdrive for sure. I will say what a really cool thing was as we were telling everyone goodbye, MJF gave me like a quick nod, not like overt, nothing like that, just a quick nod, and I was just like, it really meant a lot to me that he did that. So, and Jay was super, Jay was super pleasant too. She said thanks and everything, but it was just that gratitude they both showed me. I was like, I really appreciated that. That was really cool.
Tommy, do you mind if I share the you and Brian story from the weekend?
Go for it.
So Brian was our cameraman. He was behind the camera for the interviews with Zicky and Josh. He got pictures at every panel Ted did. He got pictures at all the Freeman Coliseum panels with the big Marvel people. He was everywhere. So I think it was Saturday night. He had gotten the Josh Wood interview with you. He had gotten a bunch of stuff. He said, "I'll do this interview. I'll do the editing on the video tonight." Because Grunt Style was really cool, but they wanted the video too and all that. So we're like, yeah, we'll get it to you. So I go to sleep at a relatively normal time after the con, like probably 11:30, 12, whatever. Wake up in the morning and there's a message at 3:30 from Brian. Hey, I've been editing video since 8:30. I'm exhausted. I'm going to pass out. I'll finish this up tomorrow. Tommy responds apparently within 5 minutes. So both these guys are up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Terry!
I was like, go to sleep. Now, I mean, Brian, I get, was like doing all this video. What were you doing, Tommy?
I'm always writing. Like legit. I don't even notice the time at the time. I'm up editing stuff till like 3 in the morning.
I have seen this before where I'll get up and as I'm getting ready for work, I'll get on Facebook or whatever, and my feed is Tommy like, and it's the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, well, Tommy was up writing again and had nothing else better to do or nobody to talk to.
Yeah, so in a very similar vein, sometimes me and Tommy send, Messenger, we're sending stuff back and forth on Messenger. And so the funny thing is, I'll wake up the next morning and get his, and then I'll send mine early at like 7 in the morning, so he won't get those till like noon.
Yeah. It's a weird time schedule. My sleep pattern was way off this past weekend, but it's almost non-existent. But yeah, but and Saturday night I was winding down after the amazing, epic, and awesome Branded Outlaw Wrestling show that Terry announced for, I was filming for, and that we had just some stuff happening just before the show even started. Terry, if you want to jump in that, you're more than welcome to.
Well, do we want to just do the whole recap of BOW?
Yeah, let's do the whole recap. I'm in.
Okay. So this was our Outlaws Ride Again, which has always been our biggest show of the year. This one, our main event was a steel cage match.
Yeah.
Independent promotions. We are not like WWE. We are not like AEW. We do not have the cage pre-assembled hanging from the ceiling. The son of a bitch is a pain in the ass to put together and to take apart. I will say that. But for the main event, I'll get to that in a minute, was totally worth it.
Yeah.
So rundown of the card. We had 9 matches,
which is more than we've had in a while, right?
Yeah. We had 9 matches. We started out with a tag team match. We had DeMarcus Rashad and 21 Bone versus El Matatan and the party animal Chris Austin. Chris Austin is a kid to watch. He can go.
Yeah. I was impressed.
And that was a good match. DeMarcus Rashad, 21 Bones got the win there.
Real quick,
then we
Terry,
had the-
Legacy of Nerd just pretty much said what you just said.
Check waking up in the morning to the Tommy likes.
There you go. Now that note is perfect. I can actually read it on my screen because I'm using my phone.
Okay. Yeah,
So, but yeah, that one I haven't seen the other ones, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tommy's up all night and sleeps till noon. And don't worry. Hey, trust me. When you get to be my age, it will catch up to your ass.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me.
I'm gonna regret it. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So then we had the TWL heavyweight title match, which was Alex Arsenal, the champion, defending against Vic Endurance. Good match. Those guys were bringing it.
Yeah.
They were throwing some haymakers.
Yeah.
And Alex Arsenal, he retained. So then we jump to I like to call it the ever popular card subject to change match. We had a triple threat women's match. Riza Clark, Anarchy Dash, representing the End of the World Party, and JL from the Rhodes Wrestling Academy.
Yep.
Those three. That was a good match.
Yeah, it was. I've known Razor Clark from way back. This is like her first time in BLW, and I think it's one of her first time in San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken. And it was really cool to see her in that match. Anarchy Dash just keeps getting better. Jael has, and all three of them have bright futures ahead of them for sure.
Yeah, they did, and Anarchy Dash won that one. Then it was from what started out to be a 5-on-5, ended up being a 6-man tag. Team BOW, which was the Death Dealer Alexander Crowley and the End of the World Party, Corvus and the Resurrected Ricky Ramirez, against Team RWA, Charles Crawford, Hit, who is
one of the few guys taller than you,
one of the very few, and Slim 7, who holds the Call Your Shot trophy.
So nervous he still has that. I'm so nervous he still has that.
Yeah, that's him having that is a dangerous thing because that kid can go to. I mean,
yeah,
you know, everybody out of the Rhodes Wrestling Academy, can go.
Yeah,
End of the World Party can go. Crowley can. I mean, everybody on the show can go.
Oh yeah.
But you can definitely see there's just a little uptick on certain people who it's like, all right, you better follow this dude.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, if AEW Dark and Dark Elevation was still going, you'd be seeing more of Slim 7 there.
Yeah.
Because that kid can flat out go. And Crowley and the End of the World Party won that one.
Mm-hmm.
The BOW tag team titles. Fly Def, who's been our champion now for quite some time.
Yeah, that's been
yeah. They were supposed to defend against the City Boys from Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Bino Blue, we found out, was hurt. So Whiskey Sour brought in a tag team partner from Dog Pound, the around the clock champion, the Black Kraken, Iman Deshawn. That dude, they actually made a really good team.
They actually did. I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, actually, this is a lot more cohesive team than I expected it to be. For them to be not a regular tag team. So
right, I mean, and then we had Boss Baines and the Crown Jewel Chase Owens. Tommy, I see you.
He's still so salty about that Bullet Club thing. That was 2 months ago.
Surely he got his revenge on Chase Owens, right?
Surely he did not, good sir.
Oh,
And I
Surely
loved
he
every
did not.
second of it.
Oh,
And I loved every
he's-
second of it.
He's still counting. He's still counting the tile on the top of the Woodlawn Gym.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
like he's
package-
looking. That's a bright light up there.
Did he get
Yep.
him with the package? Nice.
Yeah,
package pile driver. Yep, he sure
it
did.
was
Um,
my favorite move of the night. I can't lie.
Oh yeah. And then Tommy's favorite match to follow around was Yuya Yamura and 50 caliber Barrett Brown, the stray dog.
I just
From New
wanted to
Japan
stay
Strong?
in the ring. But then again, once they got outside, that turned it up a lot. The crowd almost couldn't believe what they were seeing at that point. It was
Yeah.
definitely almost like
They-
it was like mini strong style in a way. You know, not
Yeah,
quite
exactly.
as difficult. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, and the crowd wasn't quite sure how to take it because they're not used to seeing something that special.
Yeah.
So
Oh, damn.
they can go out. What do you say?
There's Jason in the comments said Chase Owens is still part of Bullet Club. I think they forgot about him, but they won't this coming couple of weeks because he's in the G1 Climax.
He's in the G1.
Now that being said, David Finlay may be kicking him out of the Bullet Club at that point, but we'll see. You know.
Real quick, Tommy, did I send you the TikTok of Chris Bay and the Bullet Club guys from Impact? And they were like
Ace Austin.
Ace Austin talking about like all the different Bullet Clubs that are right now, and they're like,
No, I don't think I saw that. Yet.
I'm gonna double check and send it to you. But they're basically like, we don't know what's going on, not us.
They're just like, and we're here too.
Well, I mean, you've got Bullet Club Gold in AEW.
AEW, you got Japan, you got Impact, yeah, all over.
Well,
BOW and San Antonio.
You got AJ Machine Gun and Doc in WWE
You mean
and Finn.
the OC, the only club, the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn Balor did promise they take over the world. He wasn't lying.
Yeah.
You got that right.
He wasn't lying.
So yeah, that one. Yeah, the chops echoed through the Woodlawn Gym.
Through that, like I don't think the videos do it justice. I really don't. I think unless you were there, you can't appreciate how loud those were.
And I love the fact that
And you were right there
reacting on them.
It came out by accident. I
but I
always
love
try
that.
to be quiet when I'm filming, but he chopped that boy, so I was like, "Oh my god!"
No, don't be quiet. Please do not be quiet. Dude, the emotion, and that's the feeling. That's the passion that we have, because I'm doing the same thing standing back by the curtain.
Yeah, you are.
And you just don't hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legacy, we definitely need to get you one of these to any of these shows. Definitely.
Yeah, you need to come to a BOW show for sure. Yeah, come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun.
And as for going outside, I don't care if the guys go outside. Just don't knock over the trash cans.
Yeah, I had to clean that up. You're welcome.
I know you did, and thank you so much for that. And then the BOW heavyweight title, Savage King defended against Mark Von Erich. That one ended up getting thrown out.
I'll tell Mike I'll explain how we watch Mission Pro. Mike, it became Mission Personal Wrestling real quick.
Oh, of course. Nice.
Yeah. They stopped wrestling like 10 minutes in and just turned to fighting, and I was like, do they know something about each other? I don't, because damn. Yeah. And by the way, Doc. Yeah.
They were hitting each other like they owed each other money. It was.
Hey, Sean, what's up?
One of them said hook 'em, one of them said gig 'em, and it was on from there. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then like they went to the crowd, and
it brought back the memories of Tommy and everybody in the crowd, and bitch better have my money, And Tommy remembers.
I miss those days.
I know, right?
I think I mentioned. And then, oh, God, sorry, go finish.
And then the main event.
Oof.
Was the BOW Women's Championship. The Women's Championship was the main event, inside a steel cage. How often do you see that in independent wrestling? How often do you see that? Period.
Yeah.
But
last women's cage match I can think of was Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and that was a year
Britt.
ago. Yeah, that was
Here.
a year ago. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was still in San Antonio.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Yep.
I was there for that.
Us too.
Yeah.
So, Lady Bird Monroe, Majestic Misty Marks put on the match of the year, in my opinion.
They did.
There was no fear of using the cage.
No, there was not.
I found this out afterwards. That was Misty's first cage match.
Really? I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't feel for a lot of the women.
I didn't get a chance to ask Lady Bird if she had been in one, but
I want to ask her now too.
She went back, way back in the memory banks of Superfly Jimmy Snuka in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, she did.
She
did.
Climbed to the top of the cage, splash off the cage, and the place went absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
And she retained. Props to the girls there. They just and I know Lady Bird has the belt, but that night they were both champions in my book because they stole everything.
Yeah.
So
up until that point, my match of the night was Barrett and Yuya, and then they just came in and just absolutely just blew. And the thing is I loved about it most was they really did use the cage to their to their advantage.
Oh God, yes.
It was so brutal. It was so brutal, man.
There was one sequence where Misty was stuck between the cage and the ropes, and Lady Bird kept running across and drop kicking her into the cage.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where Misty just took and she had her Lady Bird by the legs, and she just slung her into the cage. There was
giant swung her just like that. I was like, oh, okay. Again,
there was no fear whatsoever.
Nah,
but fantastic show, and I can't wait for September 9 because some things coming down the road.
Ooh, I can't wait. So fun fact, a friend of mine who I went to middle school with, he came out and brought a bunch of people, and he said, dude, we're coming back in September. We let it, and there was a family who were there, and they asked me, they specifically asked me after the show, when's the next show again? They said September 9th. I think we won a lot of new fans that night, and that was it was a really great show from start to finish. It was so fun. Yeah,
there are some people that think that women's wrestling doesn't draw, but
Vince.
Thank you, bless you. I beg to differ. Tommy, you remember our all women show that we had?
That was one of our biggest ones, actually.
Yeah.
Where
we had Taya Valkyrie and Victoria, and
it was a good night.
Now Zoe Stark was on that card.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Gracia was on that card. I mean, and that card drew.
Yep.
Women's wrestling draws. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And I just wish that there would be some more open minds. I mean, I see what Mission Pro's doing, and Mission Pro draws, and it's with the exception of the Men's Revolution trying to take the whole thing over.
Don't even get me started on those assholes.
They got it going on.
Yeah,
they do. Those are really fun shows, and I agree with you on that. Like especially letting women wrestle, which we've documented in the past the way WWE let them, and then they stopped and went to the Divas, and then they're like, "Oh, look what we created, women's wrestling again," and we were like, "It's been around for a long time. You just
And even in the Divas era, I feel bad because like, and I feel bad because I've said this before, but people like Alicia Fox, who maybe not the best wrestler, but definitely had the personality to connect with the crowd, just wasn't given the time. It wasn't given the chance to really shine. And then even when you had people who had both, like Michelle McCool, when she was on that, great heel run at one point, they had to do that stupid stuff where all they did was tease Mickey James instead of just letting them. I mean, she could have still been a jerk to Mickey James without having to do all that stupid pig crap, which was just annoying as all hell. It's just, I again,
her and Layla.
Yeah. I'm glad that era is like over, but it wasn't the lady's fault, is what I'm trying to say. It was like they did the best they could with the crap they were given.
What they were told to do.
Yeah. Sean in the comments says, what about Jillian Hall? I enjoyed Jillian Hall. She was the perfect amount of annoying. That was her job. If her voice got on your nerves, that was the point. She sang off key on purpose.
AKA
she could actually sing.
AKA Miz.
Dude, Miz understands the assignment every single week. I remember somebody saying I think it was Bobby Lashley. He said in like an interview, the Miz is going in the Hall of Fame and you can't do anything about it.
We've talked about it. He's a first ballot. Like,
did you see his clip from Busted Open?
Not
Miz
yet.
Or Bobby Lashley?
Miz.
Not yet. I haven't. No.
I saw it today, and he's like, "You're given if you're given 1 minute on TV, you have to make the most of that minute. You have to figure out how to make the most of that minute. If you can't figure that out, then you're not going to make it."
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong. He has figured it out.
I think he figured it out ever since, that whole, when he was in the locker room, he was eating or whatever, and they made fun of him and they thought, he wouldn't make it because he was just a
MTV reality star.
Yeah, reality star, celebrity and everything. And he just proved them wrong because he just never quit. No matter how much they tried to make him quit, he refused. And I think that's, the Miz was even good on Food Network and Master Chef. He's actually a great personality overall. That's the thing with the Miz. He's actually has this great personality as a person. So.
Tell me you don't want to see that movie made of his story.
Oh, absolutely.
From coming in, from all that stuff he had to overcome, to being like the most consistent over like someone WWE sends to everything whenever they need someone to speak on their behalf.
House show.
Yeah. Married Maurice.
Oh yeah,
because,
the most important one.
Yeah. Married Maurice because, I still don't know.
And had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Bastard. Anyway,
but yeah. Real quick before we move on, we have some breaking news to break here on the WrestleCast. Ari's softball team is going to the Pony League Championship game tomorrow. So congratulations, Ari. JC and Tina, get some rest. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Hydrate.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hydrate.
They've been out down in Laredo all week, out there all day. So I can only imagine how hot
Just each kid gets a Gatorade bucket of water.
Right.
Each kid.
So good job, Ari. We're proud of you.
Good job, Ari. Congratulations. Okay, guys. So now we covered all that. Moving on to Impact Slammiversary. Impact started in 2002. Everyone said Jeff Jarrett's going to run this promotion to the ground. Little did they know it was almost Dixie Carter and Vince Russo who ran it to the ground. But here we are 21 years later, and this card I'm super hyped for. In the past couple of years, and Tara, I'm sure you've heard us say it on the show, of all the companies people talk about the past couple of years, Impact's probably been the most consistent with just solid wrestling every single card they put on, no matter what. It's just always a good wrestling show. May not be like the biggest moments ever, but if you just want solid wrestling all across your show, you put on Impact. It's just a fact.
I wish they had a bigger TV outcast.
I agree for sure. The more people should be seeing what they're doing right now. Let's go ahead and get started. This is probably I don't know which matches will be on the pre-show, but if we want to, Mike, do you want to pick everything, or do you want to just pick some things, or
we'll just go through them all real quick.
Okay. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Except for the digital media championship, we'll just pick the title matches later on in the show. So starting off, we have Impact Digital Media Champion Joe Hendry defending against Kenny King. I think that might be a sleeper match because Joe Hendry has been nothing but fun every single time he gets in the ring.
Hendry's great. Like I heard a bunch about him. I talked about this before from Cultaholic, from the stuff he was doing in England ahead of time or before that. But I think I have to Perazo him with this title.
Yeah,
like, until he loses it. I got to go Hendry because he's just been so good.
Yeah.
What's up, Sean? I mean, Kenny's obviously a great opponent, but I just kind of have to go with him till he loses it.
Because Hendry's so unpredictable at this point.
Yeah.
I really don't know who's gonna take that belt off of him anymore. Next up is one I'm personally looking forward to: Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian. It's like Impact present meets Impact past in a way. It's like because I think about when Impact started and Kazarian was one of those dudes, man, you always named as one of the founders of the X Division, if nothing else. Yeah, and of course, also for Christopher Daniels, SCU, all that stuff. Jason in the comments said Impact treated women extremely well over the decades. Tonight,
that is
Impact
true.
proves it. I saw some clips from Impact. Haven't watched all of it yet. But yeah, Impact really did well by women's wrestling for a long time when no one else was.
They were having Gail Kim and Awesome Kong when
tear the house down.
Was doing their diva stuff. So
yeah, like every show they were tearing the house down. Next up is Bully Ray and Steve Macklin versus PCO and Scott D'Amore. I'm convinced PCO legitimately is immortal at this point.
I may need to double check this, but I thought Macklin was out of this match.
Oh, Macklin is out.
Oh, yeah, he's out. Okay.
Macklin is out.
I thought he was supposed to name the replacement on Busted Open, right?
Yep, and it is Diener?
Cody Diener?
Cody Diener?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Great.
I feel like PCO and Scott D'Amore, because they're kind of I think they're supposed to be the faces, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Oh, Jason says Macklin and PCO are out. But so Scott D'Amore's going to pick someone else, too. But I don't think he has yet. Okay, I mean, PCO should be out. They set him on fire. I know that doesn't mean much.
I was going to say... Wait, how is he out? Does he have jury duty?
Yeah, he's out because they have to put the spark plugs back in, and they think they lost one when he got set on fire. So
he was in the garage getting parts.
It took a little while to recharge.
Yeah, it's they have to unplug him and plug him back in again. Run all the software updates. Whatever parts that they got wet, drop them in some white rice to absorb all the all the fluids. Stick them back in. Like, all right. Then they gotta crank the wheel to turn them back on.
God, I want to see these. I want to see these videos.
I know, right now. I want to see. Oh man!
Now my greatest rival or my greatest enemy is coming next.
Yeah. Mike's greatest enemy on this show, for those who don't know, is picking multiple man or multiple person Impact matches, and up next is the Ultimate X match for the #1 contender for the X Division Championship. We have Angels, former Allen 5 Angels of Dark Order fame, Jonathan Gresham, Kevin Knight, Kushida, and Mike Bailey. Yeah, I don't want to pick this one either because I would rather.
Where are the dice that Sean gave you?
I was gonna say, even though Sean gave you these great dice to pick for this one, just for fun. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 6. So I'll go in order how we have listed. So it landed on 1. So Allen Angels would win. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. So you know what? I take that back. It could.
I like Jonathan Gresham.
I see that happening too. It's very possible. Of course, it's Ultimate X and Impact. Literally, all these guys could win. There would be no shock to you.
I think Jordan Grace tweeted that this was his first Ultimate X match. He's going to participate in.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Bailey just because
he's been putting in all the work for the division lately.
Because matches are always awesome.
Yeah. Fair enough. So,
Sean, I knew they would come in handy.
The dice, yeah. Now we're getting into the title matches. So these will go ahead and officially pick. First of all is the X Division Championship match. Chris Sabin defending against Leo Rush. I'll go first because, with all due respect to Leo Rush, I feel like he just got there, and Chris Sabin, after all this time, has been finally gotten the X Division title back. I'm gonna go ahead and go Chris Sabin. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sabin too.
Yeah,
Similar reasons. Not that Leo Rush isn't good or couldn't carry a title, but he's also been kind of unpredictable in his last couple runs with companies. Kind of getting injured, kind of being there very shortly, and then leaving. But plus, it's Sabin. I mean, Sabin and the X Division title.
Hail Sabin!
Heck yeah!
All right, and so it's a clean sweep. Okay, Mike, real quick, I'm gonna be so mad at Terry if he tests this like.
Oh, I know,
damn,
right?
Sean.
Just
damn, Sean, I just saw
right.
your comment. So I'm gonna be mad if Terry tests this and gets everyone that he picks right. It's gonna just drive me crazy.
But that would be our luck. So
that would be our luck. Don't be that smug, Terry. Next up is the Knockouts Championship match of the Coven versus defending against Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. I already know who I'm picking, but Mike, how about I'll let you go first, and then I'll go after you. No,
this is kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
I feel like Masha has a lot of potential momentum, and I think they have a lot in her. But the Coven's been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for the title change. I'm gonna go Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich.
All right, Terry, what about you?
I like the Coven.
Okay. Given all I know, I refuse to bet against Kelly and Masha, so I'm gonna go with the title change as well. Again, so this is when Terry's picking. I swear, if this is the first one he's right about, like if this is like the opening match and he's right away, I'm gonna text him relentlessly. He's like, "You son of a bitch! How dare you? How dare you be this right?" I'm seriously gonna be mad if he tests this.
It would not shock me in the least.
It wouldn't shock me either.
And you know how often I watch Impact?
Okay, you know what? Look, do you know how often JC has been to a Mission Pro show? Let me answer for you.
Oh my God!
Never. And he picks everything right every effing show to where I'm like, I swear to God, JC, I'm coming to your house to hit you. So,
like, he called storylines for like 2 shows in a row. Like, we were so pissed.
So mad.
Like, me and Tommy have been, Tommy a little bit longer, me there for like a year now. And JC's like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And it did for the most part.
Yeah. It's driving me crazy. And so, so Terry could probably do that. All right. And now, the Impact Tag Team titles. Oh, man, it's a 4-way tag team match. Doggone it. I barely realized this when I looked at it. It's the, ABC, Bullet Club, Bay, and Ace Austin defending against Brian Myers and Moose. Okay. Rich Swann and Sammy Callahan. Again, okay. And Subculture. Whew.
You want me to go first?
Yes, go ahead. Of course, yeah.
Bullet Club runs the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. You know what? Yeah, I'll go Bullet Club too.
Yeah, I think we're gonna clean sweep this. Same thing here.
Okay.
I mean, the 2 tag teams that are kind of like put together, they always have potential, but
yeah,
I don't know. Like, usually Impact is good with a flush tag team division of teams that have been together. So
true.
Yeah, I mean, throwing Rich Swann and Sammy Callahan together.
I mean,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. The only other team I would likely see win of this is Subculture, but that's about it. Only because they actually have been teaming longer. But I do want to give props to Moose for saying he wants to be one of the guys who's associated with Impact, like AJ Styles is, like other guys are. I give him props for that, because I remember Eddie Edwards saying something similar years back, which is why he's still there.
Yeah,
and that works for me. I ain't got no problem with that.
Sean Paul and Sammy and Swan.
Yeah. Now, for something that like just kind of has my heart and mind split in two. The Knockouts Championship. Deonna Purrazzo defending against Trinity.
I'll go first on this one if you want.
Sure, go for it.
Because I'll be honest, it hurts a little bit to not Purrazzo.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if you're going to bring Trinity in, Deonna's solidified herself as that long-standing champion. It's Slammiversary. You know, what better way to really give Trinity that push with? I mean, she's already well known from her time, obviously in WWE, but you know, put that title on her. Beating Purrazzo means something. So
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry, and you're nodding your head. You're going along with
Trinity. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go the same. Go Trinity. I do like this match for another reason though. It's gonna really give people a chance to see that Trinity is really good. And what I mean by that is there are still a lot of people who have this misconception that she can't wrestle. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it's like, you know, it's a woman thing, a racial thing, or just like they just don't want to admit that she's actually good. Now, yes, she had like the Funkadactyls gimmick back in the day. Everyone's aware of this. She had, but other wrestlers have had bad gimmicks. Doesn't make them any less wrestlers. Damn it, Doc.
I mean,
okay, so Doc put in the comments, I like her, but so go Trinity. So, I mean, again, not wrong. We just don't, but you said the quiet part out loud. Anyway, so it's a total divas thing. Okay, Jason, that's, you know what? You're onto something there. I think, like, people really do have a thing. Trinity is married because she's married to an Uso. Wow, dang. The logic behind some of these choices. But I think Jason's got a point. I think it's a total divas thing. But, again, just because she's a total diva doesn't mean she can't wrestle. And I'm looking forward to her getting to do this to prove that she can.
Natty wasn't total
diva. Trinity has stayed away from the law where the Usos have gone to it. That's another whole other story.
That's true.
You know, the whole, and this is one thing I have never really been a huge fan of Trinity's.
Okay.
The whole glow dancing.
Yeah.
Go work. Show me what you can do in the ring. I don't care if you can dance on the stage, if you can dance down the ramp. Show me what you can do in the ring.
Yeah,
and this match is going to show what she can do in the ring.
See, I think that's fair, but I think it's also fair to say WWE literally thought the opposite. They didn't care about as much what she could do in the ring. They wanted the presentation.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I hope you're right though. I hope this is her chance. Like y'all both want to prove everyone that she belongs in a wrestling ring.
I think this will do kind of for her what going to Stardom did for Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks, just like shows that she can hang on that level. Because one criticism I heard, actually no, I take it back. It wasn't a criticism. It was more like a kind of like almost like a challenge to Mercedes was, can you hang in that ring with almost a strong style of Joshi wrestling? And she was kind of like, bet, and she did. And I feel like you can get the same thing with Trinity because Deonna Purrazzo, I wouldn't necessarily call strong style, but she's extremely technical, and you can I feel like Deonna's kind of in that season of wrestling where she can pull a good match out of anyone, whether they're good or not. Like if it's a good wrestler, she can pull a great match out. If it's an okay wrestler, she can still get a good match. I think this will be a great match.
Now here's something to think about. Time limit draw.
Interesting.
I'd be down for that. I'd be okay with that.
Let them go. Let them have a Broadway, and that way Trinity can really showcase that she can work.
Yeah,
and then that sets up a rematch down the road.
I'd be okay with that.
I like that. That's not a bad idea.
Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Okay, and we're pretty positive is going to be the main event. It should be. Impact World Championship, the champion, Alex Shelley, never thought I'd say those words, defending against Nick Aldis. Again, this seems like this is reversed. This feels like this is some alternate universe where Alex Shelley is the world champion and Nick Aldis is the challenger. That feels backwards in some way.
It's kind of interesting. You're not wrong there.
Yeah, I'll pick first because I legitimately knew already who I was picking. I'm going Alex Shelley because I can't. I don't have any problem with Nick Aldis, and it won't be a shock to me, and it won't even be a bad thing to me if he wins. But Alex Shelley is one of the dudes who has been grinding the longest in pro wrestling. Not, and I'm talking because I'm talking pre-Motor City Machine Guns when he had that really weird tag team with Abyss when he first started in TNA, Generation Next and ROH. I've been an Alex Shelley mark for a long, long, long time. So I'm going Shelley to win. Terry, it looks like you're agreeing. Are you going the same way?
I hate to go against Nick Aldis because
Yeah.
of what he did with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
He did. He absolutely did.
But there's you're not going to walk right into a company and be the man. So I'm gonna go Alex Shelley as well.
Okay. And Mike, what about you?
I'm actually going to agree with you all on that one.
Okay.
Same thing. Plus, kind of like what you said too. I kind of want to see Shelley have a reign, like a
hold
it for a while. Yeah.
Not be a transitional champion.
Right. Because if him and Sabin both lose their titles, that kind of looks like that's literally what you did.
Yeah.
Hey, these trusty old veterans, we'll pull them out, give them the title, so we can move them on to the other people. And that kind of, I feel like that would kind of diminish your storytelling if you went that simple.
Yeah, and the good feelings you had when they both won the belts in the first place, because I remember when we picked Macklin to win when him and Shelley faced each other. All the reason I did was because I never in my life thought they'd pull the trigger on Alex Shelley. Not that he doesn't deserve it, he does. I didn't think they would actually do it. Right. When they did, I was like, good. That should have happened years ago, but that's just me. So
and here is something from me knowing too much of the inside.
Okay.
Who remembers option C?
Yeah, I think we
like
brought that up one time.
What will happen if Sabin says,
"I'm going to cash in on Shelley"?
Yeah.
And then you have Sabin against Shelley.
I can't remember the last time they wrestled each other one-on-one. I legit can't remember anymore. And that's saying something, because back when Shelley debuted, that's what they faced. Oh, Austin Theory. Oh my god. But that back when Shelley debuted, that was like all he faced. Now I know why, because they trained together. I was like, why are they always wrestling each other? Oh, that's why. But I would love to see this Shelley and this Sabin face each other, like ring travel veterans, guys who've been doing this for a long time. Hell yeah, give me that match. I wouldn't even be mad anymore. I'd be in.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be that would be your next big pay-per-view.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I would actually save that for Bound for Glory. I really would. Instead of
there you go, Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I would save that one,
because then you could also you could just tie into the history of Impact TNA with all of that. Because
and barring guys like AJ Styles and those two legitimately are
Kazarian.
Kazarian, because
Sabin cashed in option C against Bully Ray.
He did, and he won that match.
I remember that.
And he won the title.
So true story. Me and my nephew were at my mom's house watching that match, and we did not think Sabin was going to win. When he did, we were so loud. My mom was like, "What are y'all doing?" And we were like, "We didn't think he'd win."
Sean meant Austin Aries.
Oh, Austin Aries. Okay, that makes sense. He said Austin because he said Austin Theory. He meant Austin Aries. That makes sense. But yeah. So guys, that is Impact Slammiversary. How can you watch it? It is coming on this Saturday, July 15th at 7 p.m. The pre-show starts at 6:30. It is on Fight TV for $40. It's airing from the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
This has been the summer of Canada for wrestling, man.
No kidding.
I mean, AEW's had a long run through there. Impact's been having a run through there.
I mean, given the crowds, I can't say it's a bad move.
No, it's not. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, if we don't step it up in the States, a lot of companies.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, Good stuff. Good stuff. So okay, guys. So now we're towards the end of the show
Canada.
here. I miss Team Canada, real quick. I legit hated them at one point, like as a fan supposed to, but now I just miss them. They were so much fun as like the
Well,
best
you saw what jersey D'Amore was wearing the other day.
Yes, I did. It made me very nostalgic because I was like, oh man, I missed them with that hockey stick flag when they would blatantly cheat and I would hate them. And now as an older, more seasoned
they were
fan,
such great heels during that time.
They were, dude. Bobby Roode, Petey Williams, and Eric Young. And
who was the one big
Eric
guy
Young, A1.
A1.
There you go, A1.
Yeah, because I was like, where did they find that one? Good lord. So yeah, but
And where did he go?
I don't know where he went. That's a good question. I don't know if he even still wrestles anymore. You know who they ran into at one event who came down was Elix Skipper.
I saw that. Yeah,
picture that they showed.
Because they showed him and Lance Storm.
Yeah, he is one guy that I wish would still wrestling because I don't think he gets enough credit for that freaking cage spot. He should have had a career off that alone. I'm sorry. Number of guys that only have a
for the longest time
that is the spot of all spots.
It is
ever.
The fact
nothing. I don't think ever will ever top that.
I don't think you can safely. So
safely.
Yeah. But I don't think Jason says tonight Scott hinted one of the members the replacement for PCO. Okay, we'll see about that. And Sean asked what happened to Monty Brown. Funny thing about that, me and Terry actually know what happened to Monty Brown because we got to meet him once.
Nice.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this was years ago. Lance, damn it, everybody does not know me. When Lance was having, was it hernia? A hernia surgery?
No, he had back surgery.
Back surgery, that's what it was. Houston.
He had already had back surgery and had come back and was on recovery.
Yeah.
And it was a benefit show in Hearn, up in Hearn, Texas, at the high school.
Yep.
And me, Tommy, Van, and my girlfriend drove to Hearn to go to that show, and lo and behold, there is the alpha male, Monty Brown, straight out of the Serengeti.
And at first, we almost didn't even notice him because he doesn't look exactly like. No, don't get me wrong. Still looks like he could stop a truck by punching it. He still looks like that. But it was like he was just kind of walking around, and we're like, "Wait, Monty Brown? Huh, that was weird." And then he got in the ring and started talking. I was like, "Yo, that's Monty Brown." He was so cool. He was such a nice guy, such a nice dude. He was so cool.
The picture that I have with him, and it's funny, and actually quite a few guys that I take pictures with stand on their tiptoes.
Yeah.
Because I'm so much taller than they are.
Yeah.
Charlie Haas has done it. Shelton Benjamin's done it. Monty Brown's done it. They've all stood on their tiptoes because I'm that much taller than they are.
Yeah, because you're so freaking tall. Yeah, it makes sense. So that is Impact Slammiversary, guys. This is usually the 1 minute warning segment. I don't have anything this week. Mike, Terry, what about you guys? You got anything? Terry, I know you've seen the show, but if you got a 1 minute warning,
I just real quick is or I don't know. I mean, hell, I don't need a clock because it's not going to be much. The hybrid experience this coming Saturday. Oh, I'll wait for my countdown. There we go. Okay. So the hybrid experience this next Saturday. I'm sorry, next Saturday, the 22nd.
Yep.
School supply drive. So come on out to the hybrid experience, Eckert Road at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. Bring school supplies. And we're going to make a donation and help out a lot of kids.
Awesome.
So, I mean, it's thank you guys so much for support of independent wrestling and what you guys do and putting this on every week. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much for having me on. Getting to do something a little bit different than standing in a ring with a microphone, and had a blast.
Well, Terry, I always want to say I'm glad we got you on here because you are a ton of fun every time I see you, no matter what it is, whether we're just chilling at a show, whether you're announcing at a show, no matter what it is. The crawl right there says, welcome, Terry. Appreciate you being here, man.
I had a 1 minute warning, but I also want to add something to what Terry's talking about with the supply drive. Because first of all, as many of you know, I've been a teacher starting my 19th year next month, and Tina is, I think she's 5 years behind me, or a couple of 3 years behind me, maybe 3 years in her. So we've been teaching a long time, and in San Antonio, unfortunately, a lot of the schools, no matter what district you are, tend to be Title I, lower income areas, stuff like that. So we know what it's like to take for granted having the basic supplies you need. Now, we're talking at a high school level. Obviously, we can't speak as much of the elementary, but the idea is the same. Things you think are stuff that every kid will have, they don't. I'm a math teacher. I stopped worrying about exchanging things for pencils a long time ago because we finally realized, you know what? If I want you to do the work, especially in a subject that so many people already don't want to be in, I'm not going to fight with you about a pencil. You need a pencil, here's a pencil, right? Folders, spirals, some of those simple things, you don't really think about it. They don't always come with them. That's just the reality of teaching. So, I love that Hybrid's doing this. Hybrid's always been so good with the community and stuff. And then we have a tie-in. So everyone who donates at the show is being thrown into a raffle to win a replica Sin Cara mask. And the WrestleCast has added to that. So we have agreed to put up for the August Hybrid show, which we assume there'll be a Hybrid show in August, 2 front row tickets to that show on us. So whoever wins that, we'll get your information there on, because I should be there next Saturday. I'm sure Tommy will try to make it, more than likely. So yeah, bring whatever you can: colors, markers, pencils, all the stuff that was listed. There's flyers on Hybrid social media. But yeah, the kids of our city and our community are always grateful. Things like that. If you ever see those, the backpack drives, the supply drives, all those kind of things. Like I know even in Northside we have something called the Threads Closet, but basically they have a place where, like, if you need some extra clothes, stuff like that, kids and people in the community can go, and it's almost like a Goodwill, but for the most part they can kind of get stuff for free so they can go to school. It's you should be worried about your education, not about all that other stuff. So yeah,
it can be busy. Yeah,
something down the line. I'm working on something for September for Hybrid.
Awesome.
If it happens, I know Tommy's gonna flip cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
You always do that. You always tease me like that.
And I'm not talking talent. I'm talking location.
Oh.
You always do this to me.
You will feel a bit nostalgic if this happens.
This sounds fun.
No, great.
I'm gonna let you stew on that for a little while.
That's all I'm gonna think about tomorrow. Anyway, dang it! I hate it when Terry does that, because then my mind just percolates until I know. So
you don't sleep anyway, so who cares?
I can't argue.
There's no point.
I can't argue. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It was great hosting. It was great having Terry on. It was so much fun to have you on the show.
Fun to have you here, Terry.
As always, you can follow us on Twitter, CCG_WrestleCast, on Instagram, Countdown City WrestleCast, and of course here on YouTube, Countdown City Geeks, and of course the website, CountdownCityGeeks.com. Next week we will be recapping Impact Slammiversary and probably discussing whatever else is coming up. I don't know.
Previewing the Hybrid show, probably.
Previewing the Hybrid show.
That's I think all those matches have been put out there.
Yeah.
So, another cool show.
So we'll do that. We'll recap Impact Slammiversary, and JC should be back next week. And
Yes, sir.
as always, it's gonna be a
You're
great
gonna
time.
go over the G1 results.
Ooh, yes.
You're gonna love that, Tommy. That's the Tommy
Yes.
specialty.
Oh my gosh. It's the second most wonderful time of the year. It's G1 time, ladies and gentlemen. The first, of course, is always Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Will next week be before SummerSlam, or is that?
I think SummerSlam's a couple weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a couple weeks out.
SummerSlam is the first Saturday of August.
Okay, so that'll be the 5th or the 6th, I believe.
5th.
Yes,
Yeah,
the 5th. Yeah, so we got a couple weeks before SummerSlam, which
Also, oh, good.
I was gonna say, which show's already shaping up to maybe be a pretty good show. Honestly, I can't
Yeah.
lie.
You know, even when we criticize WWE booking, which is always fair, especially with Vince bringing stuff back in, the wrestlers themselves just always find ways to kill it in the matches.
Yeah,
You know, so there's a lot of good things shaping up. I love the story of Finn going for the title while Priest holds Money in the Bank.
that's that. I did not expect that at all. That's so much fun to watch.
That's fun. I love Damage Control with Io having Money in the Bank and Bailey kind of being jealous and helping, but not really helping. Yeah, was that last
One
week?
thing about Money in the Bank?
Yeah,
Could Priest take Finn and go after Sammy and KO?
the precedent is set because of Austin Theory. Originally, no, because didn't Otis try something like that before too? When he had it?
I think
Austin Theory went
it.
after the U.S. title.
Yeah, but I think Otis tried that too when he had the Money in the Bank contract.
But then they did the stupid storyline where he lost it in a match.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they screwed him
Yeah,
over because
but-
he got over organically.
But I don't think they've ever gone after tag team gold.
No, they haven't. And I wouldn't mind it if they did, or make the crowd really mad and have him make Dom win it with him. You want to hear nuclear heat? That boy can't cut a promo. He can't say a damn word on the mic.
He's just living the dream.
He officially has more heat than MJF.
He does, and that's not a bad thing because it's like good for him.
Because we love hearing MJF talk.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
People hate hearing Dom talk.
You're so right.
Bottom line.
You're so right.
Real quick, I saw Sean's comment. Was this last week? Did we get to talk about that?
I think we touched on, because that was a couple weeks ago, because we touched on Draws' passing a couple of weeks ago.
Okay,
so yeah,
just wanted to make sure. Yeah,
but just in case, rest in peace to Draws. He career cut short because of injuries, but
I love the stories about him.
Yeah,
even after the injury, just how motivational he still was.
Yeah, he was.
How positive enough beat he always was with everybody.
People just said what a good guy he always was, no matter what. So hey, still props to him. Rest in peace. Thanks for the memories.
Mm.
So everyone, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. So we have Terry here. Over here we got Big Mike that way.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm Tommy. And as always, Heels and Baby Faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Boom.
Reach for the sky.
Boom.
Adios, Gunther. There we go.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
Breathe.
Oh. Oh, I love it, Ted. You are undefeated.
I need that as a wallpaper now. Ted's got to send that to me.
That's great.